I'm wearing nothing but a tie when Taylor comes home.
He's phenomenal. I mean, he's been great for this organization.
Buckle up, because this week in Swiftie-Kelce-Khaos, it's less reality TV and more emotional roller coaster with glitter on top. First up, Channel 4 drops a trailer for Taylor, a two-part doc that promises drama, deep dives, and maybe even some unreleased Tumblr-core tears. And then there's Ed Kelce, who's still trying to process the fact that Brunch with Taylor is now his actual life. Surreal much?
She's very down to earth, very genuine, not the least bit airs or anything like that. She's not, just very genuine.
Meanwhile, Travis goes full ghost mode at Chiefs training camp. No Tay, no distractions, just dorm beds and discipline. Scooter Braun crawls back into the chat, insisting he totally doesn't care mid-podcast rant.
And, my response to that is they made the horrible, miscalculation that I care.
And finally, Kylie Kelce, she's winning awards, wiping noses, and being the unfiltered MVP of motherhood. Taylor Swift's life story is about to be served hot and buttered on Channel 4. And no, this isn't another pastel-filtered montage with acoustic strumming in the background. This new two-part docu-series, simply titled Taylor, is about to dive deep. Like deep enough to hit the MySpace and Tumblr layers of Taylor's glow-up from country sweetheart to global phenomenon with a chokehold on pop culture. Directed by Guy King, the series promises rare behind-the-scenes content that hasn't been paraded all over social media yet. Insiders are buzzing that this isn't just a rewind of past glories, but a full-throttle breakdown of how Taylor evolved into the most powerful voice for a whole generation of young women and dreamers, all while getting dragged, praised, memed, and misunderstood on the regular. Remember when she got publicly body-slammed by the media, exes, and music execs? Yeah, they're going there. And they're not sugarcoating it either. Expect commentary from fans, experts, and probably that one Swiftie who hasn't slept since 1989 dropped. The production crew isn't exactly amateur hour either. The same people who brought us deep dives into Andrew Tate's digital doom spiral and Royos are now steering the Swift ship. Apparently the buzz started back in April when word got out that Taylor had just snatched back the masters of her first 6 albums like the ultimate musical power move. Just casually reclaiming your entire legacy, no biggie. Since her last doc, Miss Americana, Taylor's been on beast mode. 4 fresh studio albums, 4 re-recorded throwbacks, and the Eras Tour, which didn't just break records, it shattered them into sparkly confetti. And yeah, in case you forgot, it's now officially the highest-grossing tour in history. And over in the land of touchdown passes and dad jokes, Ed Kelce is still trying to wrap his head around the fact that Taylor Swift is part of the family group chat. Yep, Papa Kelce, football royalty and reigning MVP of all proud dad interviews, is gushing about Taylor like he just discovered who she is. Which, to be fair, he kinda did not too long ago.
She's very down to earth, very genuine, not the least bit airs or anything like that. She's not, just very genuine. And along those lines, she's, you got to look at the young woman that's the girl next door. An overused term, but really is.
Flashback to the first time Taylor walked into Travis's house and Ed didn't recognize her. Iconic. Fast forward to now, and he's calling life in her orbit surreal, like he's just been beamed into a real-life fever dream where your son dates the biggest pop star on the planet, and you end up being more popular at golf tournaments than half the actual players. At this year's American Century Championship, Ed was spotted vibing with his sons, Travis and Jason, while fans basically mobbed them like they were dropping a surprise album or something. Ed says Taylor's not just very special, she's apparently the opposite of every spoiled pop star stereotype ever. The first time they hung out in a suite at Arrowhead Stadium, Taylor's picking up empty plates and bottles like she's on hostess duty at a backyard barbecue. No diva energy, no do you know who I am vibes, just chill, considerate, possibly hiding dish gloves in her purse. Honestly, Ed still seems a little shook by the fact that she's down to earth. And now what used to be the Kelce brothers' low-key summer tradition at Lake Tahoe has turned into a Swiftie-adjacent circus. Ed's soaking it all in like a grandpa who accidentally went viral and kinda loves it. Every time they show up, the crowds get rowdier, the cheers louder, and the Kelces, well, they're just trying to enjoy some golf while navigating a whirlwind that now includes glitter, paparazzi, and the occasional Taylor fan asking Ed to autograph a friendship bracelet. Meanwhile, Travis is back on the grind, trading glitter for grit as he reports to Chiefs training camp like a man on a mission, or maybe a man trying to survive 3 weeks without his superstar girlfriend and real pillows. Yep, it's back to dorm life at Missouri Western, where grown NFL legends sleep in twin beds, eat mystery meat in the cafeteria, and try not to twist an ankle on the hallway carpet. Who needs luxury when you've got Coach Andy Reid running what insiders call NFL Boot Camp Deluxe Edition? Travis, now 35, isn't just gearing up for another season. He's teasing retirement like your favorite boy band member before a comeback tour. After that Super Bowl heartbreak where the Eagles handed them a loss spicier than Kansas City barbecue, people thought he might hang up the cleats. But nope, Travis is back, jersey on, curls tucked under his helmet, chasing that sweet fourth ring like it's the last slice of pizza at a Swift family dinner. He's locked in with Mahomes and the rest of the squad, ready to sweat it out for the next 3 weeks while the rest of us cry about missing one gym day. No Taylor visits, no family cuddles, just pure football grind and maybe the occasional FaceTime session with a cat or two from her NYC apartment. This season kicks off with a bang, literally in Brazil, where the Chiefs take on the Chargers in Sao Paulo. New stadium, new crowd, same Kelce trying to add another ring to the collection while the whole world watches and wonders. Is this his last dance, or just another prelude to a new era? Or maybe it's Taylor's version of the NFL now, because as soon as the Chiefs dropped a hype post for Travis's 13th season, Swifties clocked in like analysts at ESPN. Forget stats. They're connecting dots like it's a conspiracy board, and guess what they found? Year 13. Taylor's lucky number. Cue the dramatic music and glitter cannons. Suddenly it's not just Kelce's grind, it's cosmic alignment. Fans are convinced that this is the year. The Super Bowl winning, heartbreak healing, possibly ring-bearing year, all because the universe sprinkled a little Swift magic over Arrowhead. People are even calling it the NFL season, which is hilarious and, let's be real, kinda on brand. It only took one slideshow of Travis in various jersey-tight poses and Swifties were like, of course it's year 13. Destiny, babes. Pure destiny. Sure, his body's got enough scars to write its own memoir, 10 surgeries, lingering pain, and enough discomfort to make a yoga instructor weep. But he's powering through it like a champ. And when he's not stretching out those sore knees, he's either podcasting with Big Bro Jason or giggling through Italian dinners with Taylor like he's in a rom-com montage. And speaking of rom-coms, cue Scooter Braun, popping back into the scene like the ex who just had to give his side of the breakup one last time. Yes, the man behind the Grandmaster's drama of the decade has re-emerged from his celebrity bunker to remind everyone that, plot twist, everyone won.
But the cool part is, if you actually pay attention, everybody in the end won. Yes, she could have bought them back, and that could have been part of the victory, but I choose to think her team maybe didn't tell her.
Now, depending on who you ask, winning might involve snatching back control of your entire music catalog with an army of fans, 11 billion streams, and a stadium tour that's basically an economic superpower, or in Scooter's case, flipping some masters like it's a real estate hustle and telling a podcast host with a straight face that all ships rose. Because you see, Taylor's re-recordings were so iconic, even the original version started getting streams like they were trying to sneak back into the party they were uninvited from. Scooter swears he never cared about the online drama, Swifties roasting him in every corner of the internet, analyzing lyrics like it's a forensic investigation. He's unbothered, totally chill, except he says this on a 90-minute podcast where he devotes a cool 20 minutes to not caring. He even waves to the Swifties mid-interview, like a guy taunting fans from the safety of a balcony, latte in hand. They made the horrible miscalculation that I care, he says, which is exactly what someone who definitely cares would say.
Hello, Swifties. They're going to be yelling and screaming and, this, that, and another. You can't say anything right, and it is what it is. And, my response to that is they made the horrible, miscalculation that I care.
Meanwhile, while the world spins with glittery docuseries and billion-dollar stadium tours, Kylie's trying to survive 4 under 5 without a full meltdown. And honestly, she deserves a crown and a nap, preferably in that order. Kylie's the kind of mom who tells it exactly like it is. Not thriving, just surviving, and somehow still managing to win parenting awards while doing it in mismatched socks and probably someone else's juice box in her purse. She's got 4 daughters under 5, a retired NFL husband who probably still thinks a diaper blowout is a defensive strategy, and a podcast, not gonna lie, that shot up the charts faster than a toddler spotting a cookie on the counter. But don't let the chaos fool you. This woman is making moves. Between dragging herself through the caffeine-fueled trenches of motherhood, she's raising over $1 million for autism research, coaching varsity field hockey, and pushing body confidence with Dove like it's her second full-time job. She's the ultimate multitasker, one hand holding a baby, the other closing a fundraising deal, probably while shouting, "Where are your shoes?" to someone invisible. And let's talk about her confidence crusade. Kylie's 5'10", playing hockey like a boss and had to deal with standing taller than most high school boys, which, let's face it, is basically a Marvel origin story. Now she's using all that lived experience to help girls stay in sports and out of self-doubt, because according to the stats, half of them drop out just because they don't feel good in their own skin. Kylie said, "Not on my watch," then grabbed a whistle and went to coach practice like the field was her runway. At home, she's all about raising mini world changers. Wyatt, Elliot, Bennett, and baby Finley are apparently learning kindness and boundary setting between snack time and meltdown o'clock. Jason helps out, of course, when he's not podcasting or dodging glitter. And through it all, Kylie swears by humor, because when you've got 4 tiny humans and one of them's wearing their pants on their head, you can either laugh or join them. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.